Yeah, yeah. Cassandra, she gave us $1 and then she gave us another $2 and asking a question here. She said, Paul London said that Triple H was envious of you. How? Do you know in a certain way that he might have been envious of you? He got a little bit of that time in the documentary talking about like how you changed the business for the better and stuff like that. Um,
Who did?
Triple H did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because they showed you interacting with him and Vince at the your Hall of Fame induction, and they had like you could overhear the sound of him saying like, "You changed the business."
Oh,
And you're like, "Oh, did I do it for the better or worse?" And he was like, "For the
oh, cool. Okay.
yeah,
I don't remember seeing that part.
yeah,
But I remember that happening though. You know, who knows what someone else thinks or feels. Hunter was in a position where he's both office and at the same time he's talent.
hmm
So that's a hard position to be in as far as you're going to be looked at from the other talent as if you have an unfair advantage of pushing yourself over them, of getting ahead, uh, maybe with less talent than would be required, and to put the brakes on other people's pathways.
hmm
And in at the end of the day, all of that is true, but it also kind of is fair, maybe because you are in that position, and so if you are, let's say you sit at the round table, uh, you and five other knights, there's six of you, and you all have equal say, right? If you really believe that pushing you is going to be is going to bring in a lot more money than pushing in these other guys, even if you hear a lot of chatter about these other guys, you disagree and you don't think that they're worth the investment of the company's time and energy, really. And you, if you really feel like this would be a better business decision, then guess what? Then that's what you're doing. And you're making that decision. You are involved in it. There is no um, rules against that, and so a lot of wrestlers will say the reason that they were stopped was because of Triple H, because he was either he was jealous or just because he's with the boss's daughter, this and that. But if you look at him as an executive who has decision making power, if he if his vote is that we don't use these guys for whatever reason, then it really is a legitimate, fair power that comes with that position.
hmm
So outside of that, I think professionally, I'm guessing, like I said, I don't know, but there's a good chance that professionally he didn't believe that I was a good investment for the company. And that's based on hearing that he would vote down, thumbs down on some plans that were talked about with me. That's based on a lot of hearsay. Um, it's based a little on some personal experience, that opinion. And when it comes to being jealous or not, I don't know. I think that Paul London meant that RVD is super over, even though they trying to bury him or trying to circumvent his rise. The fans aren't having it because he's so awesome, so cool. And so a lot of talent would say, man, that's not fair. You should be the guy that's getting pushed to the moon right now. And the reason you're not is because his ass in the office. And a lot of guys would look at it and say that's because he's jealous because he wants it done his way. I guess I don't know, not because he wants it done his way, or because I didn't connect with him and didn't connect with Vince in a way where I built that relationship that maybe he felt was a requirement that I didn't really understand or know about or care about or whatever. So there you go. I think that Paul London meant on talent, on fan interaction, and on overall the reaction that I was getting from the wrestling universe, despite getting pedigreed at the end of every show to try to stop it.
Yeah.
It could be looked at like he was doing that to try to stop it.
Well, it's like you look at that time period. It was like 2003, whatever, 2002, and like it was, yeah, Triple H was one of the top players there, on as a wrestler. But then you also look at the other guys that were Booker T. These are all the ones that like he was rumored to be quote unquote burying. But the cream rises to the top, and both you and Booker rose to the top eventually. Like you guys got there. It's just like not in the nature that maybe all the fans expected it to happen, and in the time frame it should have. But they got that. You guys got there, so it's like, I don't think. I think there is kind of like a little bit of a misnomer. Obviously, I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know anything about it, but
Hearing you say it like that, looking back at what I believe is the actual fabric of my story, I think I got pretty far and then was kind of um, derailed.
Mhm.
And then I built my own ladder to get back up to the top.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.